Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Haugen. Hey, today we're going to work on lesson 6 in our math workbook. So make sure you have your blue math packet in front of you. You can see from today's target that we are going to practice finding totals of coins. So our job today is to either count or add to find the total value of each group of coins. And just like you will need to do in your class cake exit ticket, we will need to make sure to use either the cent sign or the dollar sign and decimal point for our final answer. So I included this little picture up here just to remind you of what the coins are, what they look like, and how much they're worth. I also have the little dots on them. So you remember you can count by fives. Each dot that you see on the coin is counting by fives. So you can add it up or count it up any way you'd like. So if we start with number 1, we see that we first have a nickel. We know because it matches this guy right here. And we know that a nickel is 5 cents. And then we know that all of these, it's really nice, they're in color and they're pennies and they are all worth 1. So if we are adding these up, I'm simply starting with 5 and counting by ones. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm writing 8, and then I have to include my cent sign after. Okay, let's try the next one. We see this one right here is a small coin, and it's the back of a coin, and it matches this one right here. So this is a dime, it is 10 cents. So I can either write that it's 10, I can put 2 dots on here so I can count by fives. Either way works. And then again, I have some pennies here at the end. So you can count this 2 ways. You can either start with 10 and count up by ones, or you can start counting by fives and then switch to counting by ones. I'll show you both ways. So starting with 10, it would look like this: 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Or if you want to count by fives, you could do it this way: 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it doesn't matter how you choose to count, whichever way is best for you is totally fine. But if you do it correctly, both strategies get you the same answer. Now you can see on number 3, we don't have any pennies, so we have to be really careful that we're checking to see which coins we have. The first coin I see is another dime, and we talked about earlier that one was worth 10 cents. So I will write the 10, and I will also put the dots here. You see the next one is kind of that thicker one, and that is a nickel. And nickels are worth 5. I will just put a little dot on each one. And I'll just write a little 5 here to remind me that's what I'm counting by. So you can either start with 10 and skip counting by fives, or you can count by fives the whole way. So I'll show you both. We could start with 10 and then count by fives. 10, 15, 20, 25. Or we can simply count the whole thing by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then I need to put my cent sign at the end. Now again, if I do the strategy correctly, I will get the same answer both ways. If I look at number 4, I again have a dime, and a dime is worth 10. The next coin that I have is a nickel, and a nickel is 5. And then they oh so kindly put some pennies here at the end. So I can start with 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Or I can count by fives using my dots and then count by ones. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 cents. Okay? If we look at number 5, we see we have 2 dimes to start with. They're the littler ones. 2 dimes they're each worth 10. Then we have this little thicker one over here that's a nickel, and nickels are 5. And then we have the penny at the end. So I could either count 10, 20, 25, 30, 31, or I can count by fives and then add one more at the end. like this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31 cents. Again, don't forget to put your cent sign at the end. Number 6. Oh, we have a big one. This is a big quarter. I'm going to put 5 dots on this one, and each of those dots, remember, is still 5. Then I have the same one here, so they're the nickels. They're just the backs of the nickels. And again, you can use the picture at the top if you need to. And let's count. 25, 30, 35, 36. Or I can count by 5s and then add one more. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36 cents. Okay, one more. We first have this great big quarter. So I will put 5 dots on the quarter because remember that is worth 25 cents. The next two we have are dimes, and the dimes are each worth 10. So I'll put a 10 for this one, a 10 for this one. The thick nickel is 5, and then we have our 2 pennies at the end. So I will count this a couple different ways. First, I'll start with just the whole numbers. 25, 35, 45, 50, 51, 52. Or I can count by 5s and add 2 more at the end. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, and last but not least, my cent sign. Boys and girls, at the top of your exit ticket on your class cake, you will also see one of these. Please use that if you need. You can either count the whole numbers or you can count by 5s as you count the dots. Your choice, whatever works better for you.